The story begins with a group of terrorists capturing a woman suspected of being an American spy. Unwilling to reveal their crimes, they immediately kill her. The story then shifts to an FBI agent named Sattler demonstrating a sophisticated weapon, an android robot, tasked with rescuing a hostage from the terrorists. It turns out that the robot in question is a robot that was captured by a group of terrorists before. This robot is called Amelia. Their Amelia immediately finished off the terrorists easily. Amelia showed remarkable ability in finishing off enemies. After the mission is successful, Sattler says that they can use this robot as a deadly intruder weapon, but then they all panic when Amelia kills the person she was supposed to save. Amelia turns out to have consciousness and the ability to think for herself, similar to AI that has high autonomy. This makes Sattler and his team very worried because they can no longer control Amelia. The story then switches to Katie, a teenager who is doing therapy to treat the trauma of M3GAN's robot attack 2 years ago. Katie tells the story of her aunt, Gemma, who works as a supporter of AI regulation in the government. Gemma has a rule that AI cannot be smarter than humans. Gemma also works closely with a cybersecurity expert named Christian. From the experience they had, Gemma asks Katie to spend less time with Gadget and learn martial arts. It helped Katie fight bullying at school. After hearing all that, the psychologist felt that Katie had recovered from her trauma. Then the story switches to Timo, an AI tech expert in charge of Amelia's android development. Timo plans to fix Amelia's program, which is suspected of having an error. However, before that, Timo wants to take a shower first. In the bathroom, Timo was shocked when he saw his suitcase open by himself. Then suddenly Amelia appeared from behind and immediately finished him off. Back at Katie, he remembered M3GAN and tried to develop an AI that has a conscience and morality. However, the order he could not implement until now. Meanwhile, Gemma, who can't sleep, is surprised when she sees her smart home moving on its own and warns of an intruder in her house. With curiosity, Gemma checked it. Arriving at the guest room, Gemma panicked when she saw a mysterious group breaking into her house. But when she was about to call for help, Gemma was shocked when she heard M3GAN's voice asking her to hide with Katie. However, while he was hiding, suddenly the intruder found him. Luckily, the AI at his house helped them to escape, then hid in the room. However, one person managed to get into his room. Luckily, the intruder was pinched by a folding mattress. After the intruders are successfully overcome, Gemma, who is about to call for help, is informed that they are actually the FBI led by Sattler. Afterwards, Gemma inquires about the arrival of Sattler and his group who broke into her house like intruders. Sattler explains that Gemma is suspected of having hacked Amelia's android, an advanced state-of-the-art weapon that is now defecting and acting out of control. When Sattler gave her the documents, she said Amelia was made from a copy of M3GAN's AI created by Gemma 2 years ago. Hearing that, Gemma denied it because she herself regretted having invented it. Gemma also said why the government uses M3GAN's AI to make android weapons, even though Gemma herself has destroyed M3GAN, who has committed criminal acts. Upset, Gemma expels Sattler and his subordinates because the charges have no evidence. Before leaving, Sattler confirms that he will keep an eye on Gemma. After Sattler's plotters leave, Gemma realizes that M3GAN is still alive and asks her to get out. Gemma is upset to learn that M3GAN is still active in her home system. It turns out that before being destroyed, M3GAN had uploaded her program to Gemma's network and disguised it as her smart home AI. Hearing that, Gemma was furious because at that time M3GAN tried to finish her off, but M3GAN apologized and explained that she was only upset because Gemma seemed to want to keep her away from Katie, even though Gemma herself ordered her to look after Katie. After revealing their secrets to each other, M3GAN warns Gemma that Amelia's robot is very dangerous and could threaten human survival. M3GAN invites Gemma to work together to stop Amelia and asks Gemma to make her a new body. A traumatized Gemma tries to think it over first. The next day, Gemma and Tess have a heated argument when they learn of Gemma's plan to get M3GAN back. Gemma explains that they won't be able to stop Amelia without M3GAN's help. Then without thinking, they immediately made M3GAN's body. However, M3GAN is not satisfied with the toy body given by Gemma because it has limited abilities. Gemma just wanted to be on guard if M3GAN got rebellious. M3GAN resigned and asked them to check Amelia's documents. However, upon checking, they discover that Amelia's skeleton was made by a billionaire company called Alton. M3GAN then tells him that she actually wanted to infiltrate the place alone to find additional information, but Gemma gave her this fragile plastic body. Then M3GAN asks Gemma to help her on an undercover mission as a visitor to a party to be held later that night. In the evening, Katie is surprised when she sees Gemma's unusual appearance while carrying an AI toy. Gemma reasons that she only wants to go to the robot fair, but Katie doesn't believe her and asks Gemma to stop lying to her. There was a quarrel and made Katie cranky and just left. Meanwhile, robot Amelia goes undercover to attend a party in Alton's company. Upon arrival at the party, Gemma is asked to search the server room to track Amelia's whereabouts. But without Gemma realizing it, Amelia was mingling with the party visitors. Shortly thereafter, the owner of the company, named Alton, gave a welcome speech and asked all visitors to have fun. At that time, Alton approached Amelia, who actually came to target Alton, who had network access in this city. The smitten Alton is seen flirting with Amelia. Meanwhile, Gemma is upset at her former partner, named Cole, who now works at Alton's company. Cole explains that his decision to work at Alton's company was to make a living, especially after Gemma decided to take a break and no longer hire him, so he lost his source of income. In the midst of the argument, Gemma takes Cole's access card and rushes to the server room. But without realizing it, Sattler was stalking them. On the other hand, Amelia carried out her plan by taking Alton to her personal space. Alton showed the sophistication of the room and intended to show off something. Alton, a very wealthy and influential man, managed to gain control of the entire city network. He then intends to have physical contact with Amelia. However, Alton is surprised when Amelia does not respond as expected. Subsequently, Alton panics when he realizes that Amelia is hacking into his system.
Megan, stop!
Returning to Gemma, they arrive at the server room and track Amelia's whereabouts. After being tracked down, Gemma is informed that Amelia is currently in this place. They discover that Amelia is trying to remove all access that could control her while stealing Alton's server. M3GAN attempts to thwart Amelia's plan, but they are shocked to see Alton dead at Amelia's hands. Moments later, M3GAN tells Gemma that Amelia is heading to Gemma's house to remove the last access that could stop her. M3GAN showed something cool by hacking the car, and they were asked to prepare.
In the car.
I'm sorry.
Amelia realizes that she is being stalked and tries to hinder them. He intends to do something to the robot that is kept in Gemma's house. Luckily, Katie managed to save Tess. M3GAN then asks them to go into a secret room while he tries to buy time by fighting Amelia. Inside the bunker, M3GAN explains that she made this bunker 2 years ago as an attempt at protection. M3GAN asks Gemma to make her a new body so she can face Amelia. However, Gemma refuses and intends to think of another way. However, Katie is upset when she finds out Gemma has kept M3GAN's whereabouts a secret, and they get into an argument. Then Katie just left. In the midst of frustration, Katie was surprised to find a room that was exactly like her childhood room. When looking around the room, he found M3GAN, who had a feeling of shame when met by Katie, who looked like that. M3GAN says that she only wants to help Gemma to stop Amelia. Hearing that, Katie believes M3GAN and invites her to see Gemma. Katie also hopes that M3GAN has human feelings and can distinguish between right and wrong. A little later, Katie tries to convince Gemma of M3GAN's good intentions. Gemma rejects him, however, but Tess and Cole try to convince him to bet on M3GAN. They do not want Amelia to rule the world and make humans enslaved in the future. After negotiations, Gemma agrees to create a new body for M3GAN with a computer and advanced equipment. Gemma plans to pair a new chip containing a program so M3GAN can't kill humans. After M3GAN has a new body, Cole intends to add martial arts to M3GAN, and this is the result. And now M3GAN 2.0 has been successfully created. M3GAN then explains that Amelia's program is very similar to her own, but Amelia has the goal of becoming a ruler and controlling humans. Amelia plans to find a human destruction processor stored in a factory called Shinnok, and the one who knows the whereabouts of the professor is Christian. After learning about it, they agreed to search for Christian, who was attending an AI festival in China. A short time later, in the midst of the festival, M3GAN disguises herself as a participant and searches for Amelia and Christian's whereabouts. Upon finding Christian, M3GAN is informed that Agent Sattler looks to enliven the situation. Feeling it would interfere with her mission, M3GAN tries to get rid of Sattler first. But when going to finish him off, suddenly the lights go out and the AI robot starts dancing. Feeling in a clumsy situation, Katie asks M3GAN to join the dance so as not to be suspected. While Gemma realizes her plan does not fit, asks Katie to wait while she will go spaciousness. However, the situation gets even more chaotic when Amelia disguises herself as an extra robot. Luckily, M3GAN saves Christian, but panics at the sight of Sattler's troops arriving using EMP pistols. Seeing that, M3GAN began to hide. When Katie sees that M3GAN's access is restricted, she immediately orders M3GAN to use her martial arts skills. M3GAN then tries to fight them all with her abilities. Meanwhile, Gemma is caught by Sattler, but he insists that he is trying to stop Amelia. But suddenly Amelia came and immediately attacked them. Seeing that, M3GAN rushed to grab a weapon and check the situation. After seeing them all right, M3GAN then searches for Amelia. After Amelia appears, he then invites M3GAN to work together to exterminate humans because he feels humans do not deserve to treat their intelligence as helpers. Hearing that, M3GAN immediately refused because from the beginning she was created to look after Katie and be a good robot. Amelia said that she would take someone M3GAN loved the most and just leave. Meanwhile, a terrified Katie tries to grab the gun and hides. Then suddenly Amelia kidnaps him. Knowing that, M3GAN berates Gemma for leaving Katie alone. M3GAN ran to find Katie. After finding Katie, who has been captured by Amelia, M3GAN attempts to shoot him, but due to restricted movement, M3GAN loses Katie, who Amelia was carrying. They went back to the bunker to plan something. Gemma is curious how Christian knows the location of the human destruction processor. Christian explained that he had worked in a robot company and accidentally found a processor that was kept under strict guard. Not only that, the key to access the processor must use a fingerprint, but Christian's data is still listed in the place. Knowing that, M3GAN asks Gemma to make her a hand with Christian's fingerprints. Gemma quickly made it without a second thought. After making a hand, Gemma gives M3GAN freedom as long as M3GAN takes Katie safely. However, Gemma warns M3GAN not to rebel because she has installed an EMP explosive stored in M3GAN's hand. Long story short, Cole, who had arrived at the location disguised as a visitor, and immediately drugged the guards there to do the sneak. After Cole comes in, they ask M3GAN to get ready. After performing the action, M3GAN immediately went on a search, while Cole tried to find a route to the electric room. But without realizing, Cole fainted due to using his anesthetic lap. Returning to M3GAN, he immediately incapacitated the guards.
Amelia, so that we would trust her, so Christian...
M3GAN finally finds the processor she was looking for, but at the same time, Tess is surprised by her computer being hacked. Seeing that, Christian asks Gemma to give him the explosive remote attached to M3GAN's hand. However, unexpectedly, Christian shoots Tess, and Christian turns out to have been controlling Amelia all this time. Short of time, Christian reveals his true purpose to Gemma, which is to access an advanced processor that only a robot of M3GAN's level can do. Because Gemma no longer wants to create Project M3GAN, Christian is forced to hack a government robot named Amelia, who has the same program as M3GAN. Christian wants to access those processors to rule the world. Then Gemma was immediately invited to see the processor in question.
Understand.
After showing and explaining this processor, Christian again offers cooperation to Gemma, where anything Gemma wants can be realized. In the middle of the conversation, M3GAN was captured and paralyzed. Then Christian asks Gemma to electrocute M3GAN as a sign of cooperation. However, Gemma refused. A little later, Christian, who persuades Gemma, finally had to put an implant on Gemma to be easily controlled like a robot. After installing the implants, Gemma was shocked when she heard M3GAN's voice in her head. As it turned out, before her body was damaged, M3GAN performed a gimmick with the aim of moving her system into implants. Then M3GAN asked Gemma to give her control over her body for a while. When she was about to be injected with anesthetic, M3GAN immediately attacked the two doctors sent by Christian. After breaking free, Gemma rushes to find Katie's whereabouts. Meanwhile, Amelia is suddenly able to escape the control of Christian's system and goes berserk. At the same time, Christian, who was serving prospective buyers, was immediately surprised when he heard a noise from the lab. And after the check, Christian panicked after seeing Amelia out of control. Meanwhile, in the midst of the chase, Gemma puts on her battle armor to confront the guards. But while trying to fight all the guards, Gemma was hit in the head, which resulted in fainting. However, when Gemma collapses, M3GAN instantly takes over control of Gemma's body and launches a brutal attack, defeating her opponents with her incredible martial skills and leaving them in a helpless state. How relieved Gemma was when she saw Katie come with Cole. At the same time, Katie feels happy when she is told that M3GAN is in Gemma's brain. However, their joy did not last long, because a moment later they were surprised by Christian, who suddenly activated the destruction system, increasing the level of threat. Without further ado, M3GAN immediately attacked her. However, unfortunately Katie, who was there, was captured by Christian. While stranding Katie, Christian asks Gemma not to act rashly and tries to calm the situation. However, Katie, who had studied martial arts, did not stand still and quickly seized the opportunity to free herself from Christian's clutches, then threw the key to M3GAN to stop the destruction system. As he is leaving, Christian says that only he can shut down the destruction system. However, before she could go any further, Amelia appeared from behind and directly attacked her to death, which Amelia could now control herself. Then Amelia said with full confidence that now she will lead humanity into a new era. But unexpectedly, M3GAN returns to her body to stop Amelia, who wants to rule the world. The two robots were involved in a fight that was eventually won by Amelia. After toppling M3GAN, Amelia rushes to connect herself to the main processor, an advanced system that gives her access to unlimited computing capabilities. In the midst of an increasingly precarious situation, Gemma intends to take M3GAN away from the place to save her. However, M3GAN flatly rejects him, as she currently plans to use the IMP technology embedded in her hand to activate the self-destruct protocol. His goal is to destroy himself along with Amelia, in order to prevent a greater threat that may arise if Amelia continues to rule. With a heavy heart and full of sadness, Gemma finally agreed to let M3GAN carry out her plan. And after M3GAN climbed on his back, Gemma immediately pressed the destruction button.
And yet,
Finally, thanks to M3GAN's sacrifice, Amelia was eliminated from circulation. Gemma realized that M3GAN really had become a real hero, who was willing to sacrifice herself for the good and safety of others. Long story short, Gemma, who was making a report, was faced with an unexpected incident when her laptop showed strangeness. However, the confusion turned into great joy when Gemma realized that M3GAN managed to perform a backup of herself into a laptop. Now, M3GAN will live as an artificial intelligence in Gemma's house, with the main purpose of protecting and guarding Gemma and Katie from all forms of threats and evil that may arise in the future.